So good afternoon, everyone. For today's third session, our speaker for this session is Dr. Gaurav Kumar. So Dr. Gaurav Kumar is currently working as Assistant Professor in Clinical Research Division, School of Basic and Applied Sciences, Galgotia University. He is holding various positions, including Research Coordinator, PhD Coordinator, and Institutions Innovation Council in charge at the university. He obtained his PhD degree from the School of Biomedical Engineering, Indian Institute of Technology, Varanasi. He received several awards, including Innovation Ambassador from Ministry of Education, Best Faculty of William Research Center, Tamil Nadu, Gold Medal in Master Technology. His research acumen and inclination in various disciplines includes neuroscience, biomedical engineering, biotechnology, bioinformatics, life sciences, and herbal study in medicine. He has completed numerous courses, FDP trainings, workshops, and conducted many of them in different organizations. He has presented his research work at several international and national conferences in India as well as abroad. He is an active member of several reputed scientific societies. He had published several research articles in national and international journals. He has organized several conferences and workshops in his university, and particularly he is working in the domain of bioinformatics. So I welcome you, Mr. Gaurav, and I like all the participants to please keep listening the talk and keep jotting down the questions. So we'll be taking the questions as the session gets over. Okay, over to you, Dr. Gaurav.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the kind introduction. So should I proceed with the PPT?
Yes, sure, sir. You can share your PowerPoint and you can proceed with the talk.
Okay, so welcome all in this session. So in this session, we will discuss about the identification of novel therapeutic compounds using molecular docking strategy. So in other session and previous session, you have also learned about various tool and technique. But in this session, I will try to let you know how you can perform the docking study using freely available tool, and you can also study several type of aspect like ADME profile and toxicity profile using various servers. So let's start with the molecular docking. So molecular docking, as we know, that it is a method is the conformation and orientation of the molecule into the binding site of a micromolecular target. Protein ligand docking or molecular docking is a study to how a small molecule, that is ligand, bind perfectly with the macromolecule or protein. So the searching algorithm generate possible poses and which are ranked by the scoring functions. Now, several software are developed during the last decade that include Autodoc, Autodoc Vina, Gold, Flex, Schrodinger, and many more that help for the understanding of the mechanism of action of the drug. So by using molecular docking, we can identify a potential inhibitor as well as activator. We can also predict the mode of action of a compound. So first, a basic introduction, how we can proceed. So there is a problem identification when you want to design a study or if you want to work, then the problem identification is the first step where we can identify a molecule that can protect the neuron in the disease condition, that also can have a possible effect in the as an anti-cancerous drug, or it can be predicted as a wound healing molecule or antipsychotic drug or many more based on your problem. So how we can achieve our goal? So first, after the problem identification, we go for the literature search. So this is the second most important step in the research design. So by using literature survey, we can know the exact pathophysiology of the disease. If you want to design a therapeutic compound, that means you are working on a disease. So first, you have to learn the pathophysiology of the disease. What are the cascade and molecular mediators involved in the disease progression? For example, we have identified any protein, any DNA, RNA, ribosome that is regarded as target. So we will also discuss in more detail about the target. So for example, if any molecular mediator, protein, is involved in the disease progression, then we have to learn the role of that protein in the modulation of the disease pathophysiology. For example, if protein is overexpressed or it has an abnormal function for the progression of the disease, then we opt inhibition strategy. If a protein is downregulated and that create a disease, that then we can activate that protein, and this will be our strategy for the drug screening. So how can we proceed? So we can proceed when we decided that our target, then we have to know the 3D structure and geometry of the target. What are the catalytic residues present in their active site, whether you want to allosteric modulation, whether you want to bind your compound into the active site or catalytic site of that protein. So after recognition of the pocket and active site, then we have to recognize which type of critical residue or amino acid is responsible for the modulation of the protein activity. If we have identified the site where we want to see the interaction of our molecule with the protein, so we are ready to proceed. Now, there is an idea about the drug target. So drug target can be an ion channel, it can be a channel, it can be an enzyme, it can be a receptor, or it can be a DNA, RNA, or ribosome. So these all are considered as a drug target. Now, the drug target identification strategy is a process for the identification of direct molecular target. Now, identification of biological target that should be a druggable. Means a druggable term can be defined as a molecule is druggable if its activity can be modulated by a therapeutics, whether it will be a small molecule, a drug, or biologics. So the technique can be used to assess their druggability, can encompass biochemistry, biophysics, genetics, chemical biology, and other disciplines. So practically every medicine is interacting with a molecular target, either boosting or inhibiting its function. So there are some property should be of a promising drug target. So be careful when you are choosing your drug target. So your drug target should have a confirmed role in the pathophysiology of the disease. Means it should be related with the disease progression. The target expression is not evenly distributed throughout the body. So if you are choosing a target that is housekeeping genes, or it is evenly distributed in our whole body, then we cannot choose as a target. So the target three-dimensional structure should be available, whether it is available in deposited in PDB database, or if not deposited in the PDB, we can perform the homology modeling to predict their three-dimensional structure. So three-dimensional structure is needed for the structure-based drug design, and the target is easily accessible that enable high throughput screen. The target also poses a promising toxic profile. Potential adverse effect can be predicted using the phenotypic data. And the proposed target has a favorable intellectual property status. If you have identified a drug that can modulate a particular target, you can also file a patent. Now, the target identification strategy has two steps. One is target deconvolution and other is target discovery. When we have a compound, the target deconvolution work when you begin with a drug that appear efficacious and the target is identified retrospectively. For example, we know that hydroxychloroquine prescribed by the doctor for the treatment of the COVID situation. But we do not know how hydroxychloroquine is beneficial for the treatment of the COVID. So we can also identify a target and the mode of mechanism of the drug that encompass into the target deconvolution process. If we want a compound, a drug, then we must find a new target that refers to the target discovery process. So once a target is identified, compound library are then screened to find a drug that bind to the target and elicit the desirous effect. The drug discovery strategy can be understood by this figure. Means if we have protein structure or target structure, and we also have the ligand structure, a small molecular structure, both structure are known, then we go for the docking or virtual screening. If the ligand structure is known, but we do not know our protein structure, then ligand-based design or QSR type of a study can be done. If ligand structure is unknown, but protein structure is known, then we can go for the de novo design or virtual screening. If both structure are unknown, then we go for the STS, high throughput screening, or combinatorial chemistry. Now, when we screen a small molecular library with a target, that can result to the hit identification, and the hit identification can be achieved with the virtual screening, docking search, similarity search, de novo design, scaffold hopping, fragment based screening, building blocks, high throughput screening, and phenotypic screening. So sometimes the hit optimization should be needed for the lead identification strategy, and when we have identified a lead, that can be validated using in vitro and in vivo experimental analysis for the identification of lead molecule. When lead molecule has confirmed role, then it can be translated for the clinical study. So for the migrating or translation of a molecule into the clinical setting or clinical study, we should perform our study in vivo study with the rodent as well as non-rodent model. After that, we can proceed for the clinical study. So I am belonging from the field of neuroprotection area. So I am going to give example for the identification of neuroprotective drug. So there are several types of diseases like Huntington disease, Alzheimer's disease, ischemic stroke insult. These all are neurological dysfunction. So we want to identify, if we want to identify a neuroprotective drug, so first we have to understand the neuroprotection. So neuroprotection is a relative preservation of neuronal structure or the function. Neuroprotection is a disease modifying event that can protect the cell from the pathological insult. Neuroprotection is a strategy to protect the neuronal element against damage and impairment of neurological function. It also includes neuroprotective agents that protect against neuronal injury following acute neuronal disease or neurodegeneration in the brain following chronic neurodegenerative disorder. So here is the list of some neurological disorder, including cerebral ischemia, cerebral stroke, hemorrhagic stroke, traumatic brain injury, epilepsy, seizure, meningitis, encephalitis, ALS, Parkinson, and neurological disorder. So for example, when we want to develop, we want to work on ischemic stroke, then we have to learn the pathophysiology of ischemic stroke, and this figure can tell you about what the molecular mediators and molecular mechanism, a cascade of event can lead to the neuronal cell death. When ischemia occurs, means the deprivation of the oxygen and blood flow occur, then a sudden incremental increase in the concentration of the glutamate can lead to prolonged activation, prolonged opening of NMDA receptor. The NMDA receptor activation can lead to the burden of intracellular calcium. The intracellular calcium level increased can cause a complex cascade of the event. It is directly related to the activation of mu-calpain, M-calpain. It can activate the INOS, NOS, and it can also cause mitochondrial dysfunction. The mitochondrial dysfunction leads to the oxidative stress, and the INOS and neuronal nitric oxide synthase activation can lead to the nitrosative stress. Both type of stress can induce apoptosis by apoptotic of the PRP1. It can, the mitochondrial dysfunction is also activate caspase 3 or 9 via cytochrome C, and it can lead to the neuronal cell death. The oxidative stress as well as nitrosative stress have confirmed role in the activation of matrix metalloproteinase 2 and 9 activation. So MMP2 and MMP9 activation can lead to the blood-brain barrier disruption, and that can lead to the neuronal cell death. So in the red highlighted box, all are the potential target. So this figure is only an illustration for the understanding of the target molecule, how we can identify the targets. So there are several types of target, drug therapeutic target is listed here, like in the ischemic stroke, GLUN2B containing NMDR is a potential therapeutic target, caspase 3, caspase 9, MMP2, MMP9, mu-calpain, M-calpain, PRP1, INOS, NOS activation, ribbon kinase, these all are confirmed therapeutic target in the ischemic stroke. When we are talking about the Alzheimer's disease, there are NMDR receptor, beta secretase 1, tau protein, BAS1, beta secretase, histamine S3 receptor are the therapeutic target. In the Parkinson disease, NMDR, alpha-synuclein, c-Abl, as well as LRRK2 these target GLP-1 receptor as well as MCL1 both can be activated for the neuroprotective mechanism. So these can be inhibited, but these two target can be activated, and we can achieve our goal using molecular docking. So here our aim is to identify an inhibitor that has higher affinity toward our therapeutic target compared to their reported inhibitor. So now, for the achieving our objective, we require some tools and software that is freely available for the research purpose, and you can use these all. So you need a molecular docking software that can be an Autodock, that can be Autodock Vena. You need a visualization software like UCSF Chimera. If you want to plot, if you want to see the interaction of your drug with the critical residue of the active or catalytic site of the protein, then you need a ligplot, which is also a freely available software. You need, if a small molecular structure is not available in the PubChem drug bank database, then you can draw that structure and you can export the structure, three-dimensional structure, using Marvin sketch, which is also freely available for the academic purpose. So for the energy minimization, we can use Pyrex, we can use Chimera. If you are using Windows, apart from the Unix and Linux, then you can also perform the docking study, but you have to install Syswin. That provide a Unix-like environment for the Windows system, operating system. Some database is also required for the interpretation of your result, that is PDB protein data bank, PubChem zinc drug bank for the small molecular database. When you want to perform your study using phytochemicals, then Dr. Duke phytochemical database can be very helpful for the listing, for the preparation of the small molecular library, like Swiss ADME and pre-ADME, MolSoft. If you are working for the neurological disorder, then the blood-brain barrier penetration study has a great importance. So your molecule should cross the blood-brain barrier. If the molecule is highly potential and predicted as a therapeutic agent, but it cannot cross the blood-brain barrier, so you can study their physiological property, and if you know that our drug is lipophilic, then you can go for the alternate route of administration, like intranasal administration. Route of drug administration can bypass the hepatic first pass metabolism, as well as your drug can be directly crossed to the in the brain through the trigeminal nerve from the olfactory epithelium system. So that will a part of a pharmacological study or pharmacodynamical study. So now, these tools are freely available for the docking study, like Marvin Sketch. You can use the UCSF Chimera, Pyrex is also freely available. You can do virtual screening. It means if you have a library of, then the Pyrex is freely available for the virtual screening. You can use the Autodock software, and Syswin is required when you are is also freely available for the 2D interaction plot. Now, what are the steps in molecular docking? So first we have to retrieve the three-dimensional structure of the molecule. When we are preparing a small molecular library for the screening, for the identification of the potential molecule, potential inhibitor or activator, then we should have the three-dimensional structure of a small molecules. The retrieval of three-dimensional structure of protein, optimization of the structure of protein, the drug property prediction, as well as molecular docking simulation. So first you have to install the Autotalk, Chimera, Pyrex, Sysbin, and LigPlot. After that, you have to you will form a grid. You will prepare a docking file. Then you have to do your docking study. After that, the protein and ligand binding complex should be analyzed for their interaction, hydrophobic interaction, as well as hydrogen bond formation. So for the molecular docking step can be also understood by this figure. Now, with the first step to make a small molecular library, so we can list a small molecule in Excel. You can create an Excel file for the listing of several small molecule of the interest that will be screened using the molecular docking study. So there is some parameter you can also list, like molecular weight, hydrogen bond donor, hydrogen bond acceptor, log p value. These all encompass for the Lipinski rule of 5. So I will also see the same in the next slide. So there, during the formation of library of a small molecule, it can be a synthetic compound. You can synthesize the molecule in your laboratory. It can be a phytochemical in origin. It can be an endogenous molecule like small hormones, as well as some transcription factor. It may be a peptide or it may be some antibodies. So there are some phytochemical database. Why phytochemical I have listed? I am emphasizing because there are several researchers working in India and across the globe. The researchers have a great interest in the screening of phytochemicals, because in the past 10 years, FDA has approved the drugs, and that encompasses FDA approved drug origin from the phyto. When you are working for the phytochemicals, then a library can be made, and the idea of a small molecule which is present in Sugandha, Brahmi, Sangpushpi, and any one of the herbal plants, you can get an idea for the phytochemicals database. So Dr. Duke Phytochemicals and Ethnobotanical database will be very helpful when you are listing phytochemicals for your docking study. There are several other databases also available, like product alerts or IMPP80 and Indian Medicinal Plant and Phytochemistry and Therapeutics database. But this database has very few. Now we need PubChem. If you want to list some chemical in your library, then their three-dimensional structure should be there. So you can search the phytochemicals or any synthetic compound through the PubChem database, which is publicly available and freely accessible. So the PubChem database has more than 100 million compounds. You can draw the structure using PubChem. You can upload the ID of newly identified of the data using the PubChem. How the PubChem is work? So I am going to demonstrate you. For first of all, you have to search Google for the PubChem and you will get this result. So now, for example, the I am just searching bithanolide A. Just search the bithanolide A or curcumin and piperine, whatever you want. Then you just with the name of your compound. And the PubChem database is also listed several types of identifier, the physical property of the compound, the chemical property of the compound, their biological activity of the compound. So you can get a brief idea about your chemicals. For example, curcumin, just search. I think net is slow, that's why it takes time.
You could put your camera off for some time.
If you have any question during the session, you can let me know. Anyone? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You're audible, but the screen sharing had stopped.
Okay. So we have searched the PubChem database for the curcumin and it show me the result. So you just click on the curcumin or your compound. Okay, so there is two-dimensional structure as well as three-dimensional structure is available. So you have to download the structure from here. Just download. There are several type of file format available. You can go for the structured data file and you can download the SDF file from here. Just save. Just click on the save. And you will be able to download the structure of curcumin. Here is the name and identifier where the canonical smiley file can be used for the prediction of ADME toxicity profile using the PKCSM server. For example, if we want to predict the pharmacokinetic profile of curcumin, then we have to put here a smiley, or you can import your smiley file here. You just click on the after verification, you can click on the ADME profile. So the PKCSM database or server will let you know ADME profile and as well as toxic profile of your molecule. So here you can take idea what are the water solubility of your drug. If you are working for the ointment or wound application for your drug, then skin permeability can be considered for interpretation of your result or analysis of your phytochemical library. The distribution, the metabolism, means the CY450 enzyme is a major metabolic enzyme present in liver, and a drug cannot be an inhibitor of CY450 enzymes. So if your drug is predicted as inhibitor of CY450, then it can create the hepatotoxicity. So this data can be very useful for the analysis of your result. So here you can also get the idea for the total clearance as well as the EMS toxicity, whether your molecule is mutagenic or not. So here you can predict several type of value of your molecule before doing the molecular docking study. The Swiss ADME also is also helpful for the prediction of the molecular drug property of your molecule. So the Swiss ADME is also provide several type of physiochemical property, lipophilicity of your molecule, water solubility, pharmacokinetics, drug likeness. So here Lipinski, whether your compound qualify for the Lipinski, Gouge, Weber, and all the criteria or not. So if according to the Lipinski, there is a rule of 5 that is regarded as rule of 5. It is not regarded as a rule of 5 due to because it has 5 criteria. It regarded rule of 5 due to the all criteria can be multiplied by 5. So the molecular, according to the Lipinski rule of 5, the molecular mass should be less than 500 Dalton. The lipophilicity is expressed as a log p value. It should be less than 5. The hydrogen bond donor should be less than 5. The hydrogen bond acceptor of your small molecule should be less than 10. And the molar refractivity should also be reside in between 40 to 130. And these all value has an integral of 5. That's why it is called as Lipinski rule of 5. So you can also predict this Lipinski rule of 5 prediction software server is created by the IIT Delhi. It is also a freely available tool and server. So by using this all server, you can list molecular drug property of your molecule during preparation of your library. The another step is very important, that if you want to screen a potential inhibitor or if you want to screen a potential activator, then you have to do a literature search and you have to find a reference molecule, a control molecule that should be used for the comparison of your docking result data. With the reference of that molecule, you can say that our molecule has a great affinity or our molecule has a potential in the comparison of the reported inhibitor or reported activator. So you have to list some reported inhibitor or activator to compare your docking results. Now predict the drug likeness property as I have told earlier you that you can list several type of molecular drug molecular drug property using various server like mole. You can use the MolSoft, you can use the Lipinski rule of 5, Swiss ADME profile. You can also list some molecular drug property from the PKCSM pharmacokinetic database. You can also use pre-admit server. You can also use the blood-brain barrier predictor. These all are freely available servers for the analysis of your result. Now, the another step is retrieval of three-dimensional structure of the protein. Like for the retrieval of three-dimensional structure of the protein, we can use the protein data bank. The protein data bank has more than 150 lakh molecule structure of the protein that is deposited by the various scientists, and this database is also freely available in the public domain, and it is a primary database of the protein structure. The structure is determined using X-ray crystallography as well as NMR as well as electron microscope are deposited in this database. So you can deposit your protein structure in the protein data bank. You can also search the protein structure in the protein data bank. So just go to the Google, you just search the Google for the PDB, and a window is appear like this. So you can also search, for example, you are going to work, you have identified the MMP2 or MMP9, for example, MMP2 or MMP9 as a target for identification of your drug. Then you just search MMP2, and the result of suggested by the protein data bank can be used for the molecular docking. So before downloading any file, you have to confirm some criteria. You just check some criteria. You will give the first preference to those molecules that structure is derived from the X-ray crystallography. The second point, you should note that your target structure should be available with complex with the substrate or complex with the inhibitor. That will give you the great insight and quick reference for the identification of the active site, of the allosteric site, or as well as the catalytic site of your target. So first preference you will give for that structure, that protein should be complexed with the substrate, or it can be complexed with the inhibitor, because inhibitor, and when you want to click on the inhibitor, the structure, then here you can know whether this protein structure origin means, if you want to do work on the rat, then there is some difference of the structure in the Rattus novargicus as well as Mus musculus and the Homo sapiens. So whether you have to decide that which type of organism is your model organism. So if you want to work on the Homo sapiens related protein, then you have to choose the structure that is isolated from the Homo sapiens. So here you can take some idea, like the solution NMR is used for the determination of the structure, three-dimensional structure of the protein. You can here also listed that X-ray crystallography, then the X-ray crystallography is used for the prediction of the three-dimensional structure. If the X-ray crystallography structure also have listed some resolution, 2.1 angstrom and 2.8 angstrom. So you can choose the molecule accordingly. Again, the important fact is that when you are selecting a PDB structure of the protein, then you have to read very carefully the associated literature with that protein structure, and this literature will give you the insight of the understanding of the structure of the protein, their catalytic site, their active site, the critical residue that should be targeted for the inhibition. Means the critical residue, some critical residue is interaction of that critical residue is needed for the inhibition. For example, in MMP9 or MMP2, that is a zinc that has a zinc in their catalytic sites. In the nitric oxide synthase, you will find an heme domain in their catalytic site. So the interaction of your molecule with that zinc is very important, and that all idea you can get from that literature. So you have to study 2 or 3 type of literature related to the protein structure. Now, the protein data bank also has listed several type of another information, like your protein structure come up with the determined with the chain A. It can have a chain B, chain C, chain D. So you just go with the literature for idea that if a protein has several type of chains, whether these all chain are isoform or identical, then you can choose any one chain for the molecular docking study. There is not necessary that you do molecular docking, blind molecular docking for all the chain. So if all the chain is identical and all the chain have a catalytic sites or catalytic domain, then you can go with any one of the chain. Another type of data you can get from the PDB, that their inhibitor structure and heteroatoms present in the structure of the protein during their crystallization process or structure determination process, whether this is important or not. So here the calcium ion and zinc ion. So if some heteroatoms is not needed for the molecular docking study, then you have to remove that heteroatom. So here zinc is necessary for the catalytic activity of matrix metalloproteinase. So you will not delete the zinc from the pocket. Next, if the structure is not found in the protein data bank, then you have to predict the three-dimensional structure using homology modeling. So for the homology modeling, there is some certain steps involved, like you have to identify the template structure. You have to align the sequence to the template structure, then the thread sequence onto the template structure. Then loop building process will be carried out and model building process. Then evaluation of model is needed. So in the evaluation of model, whether your model is okay, three-dimensional structure is okay or not, if yes, then you will end the homology modeling, and the structure which is predicted using the homology modeling, several researcher and reviewer want to perform the molecular dynamics study. So the structure which is deposited in protein data bank cannot be required a molecular dynamics study. But if you are doing the molecular dynamics study for the checking the stability of your ligand protein complex, then it will be additional. Now, I am going to give some example how a molecular docking will be helpful for the identification of inhibitor of MMP2 as well as MMP9. So for the identification, we have performed a study in 2016 in which we have identified a potent inhibitor of NMDR, and which is published in Medical Hypothesis, in which we have listed several phytochemicals of Withania somnifera, and we have performed molecular docking, and their binding energy can be illustrated in this figure. So here you can see that a bithanolide A with a lowest binding energy with ifenprodil. Ifenprodil is a reference molecule and it is a reported inhibitor, allosteric inhibitor of NMDA. So we can compare the binding interaction of our molecule with the ifenprodil. So here you can see that the bithanolide A bonded to the interface of the two chain similar to the ifenprodil. So we can generate the 2D plot using Lig plot. In the another study which is performed for the searching identification of inhibitor of MMP2, which is published in Springer, Interdisciplinary Science, Computational Life Science. In this, we have also performed a molecular docking study, and their binding score and their critical residue is evaluated for the analysis of the result. So here you can see that bithanolide G as well as hydroxamate inhibitor occupy the same area, as well as the 2D interaction plot. You can see that the bithanolide G, somniferin as well as bithanolide G, both are interacted with the zinc, and which is very critical for their inhibition. So in this Lig plot, these residues are establish the hydrophobic contacts with your drug molecule, as well as this is the hydrogen bonding. So you can discuss your result that your molecule has interaction, you have formed 2 or 3 hydrogen bond with the active site residue, and it establishes several hydrophobic contact with the active site residue of the protein. In another study, we have also identified the inhibitor for the MMP9, and the same Withania somnifera phytochemical is dogged with the MMP9 catalytic sites, and this result is also published in Letters in Drug Discovery, the Letter of Drug Design and Discovery. So here you can also see the interaction of bithaferin A and reverse hydroxamate inhibitor. The 2D graph is also illustrated. In another study, you can also precisely, you can also perform a study whether your molecule is selectively inhibiting a particular target or not. For example, the nitric oxide synthase present in three isoform in our body: endothelial nitric oxide synthase, inducible nitric oxide synthase, as well as neuronal nitric oxide synthase. But if your molecule going to bind on the endothelial nitric oxide synthase, then it can be lead to the cardiovascular insult, because the endothelial nitric oxide synthase is expressed in the endothelial lining and it can relate to the cardiovascular insult. So here our hypothesis was that we want to identify a selective inhibitor that can inhibit nitric oxide synthase with more affinity as compared to the iNOS and eNOS. So this result is also has been published in Journal of Theoretical and Computational Chemistry. Here you can see that there are several molecules that has lower binding energy with as compared to the inhibitor, well-established inhibitor of the nNOS, but it not guarantee that this enaferin molecule can be a selective for the neuronal nitric oxide. So here the enaferin has a lower binding energy. Instead, the chlorogenic acid show greatest selectivity for the neuronal nitric oxide synthase. So you can also assay the selectivity study by using molecular docking study. You have to just list the Ki value, estimated inhibition coefficient, and that is obtained using after the molecular docking study. So here we can see that chlorogenic acid occupy the heme catalytic site compared to the 7-nitroindazole molecule. In another study, we have identified a PRP1 inhibitor, and the PARP1 inhibitor is screened using molecular docking study. So here Vithaferin A predicted as a potential inhibitor for the PRP1. In another study, we have searched, identified an antipsychotic drug that can inhibit D4 dopamine receptor, and we have compared our result with the established or reported antipsychotic drugs, and we found that our synthetic molecule has a potential for the inhibition of D4 dopamine receptor. Now I am going to briefly give you a hands-on session how you can perform the molecular docking, if host permit me and if you are interested. Otherwise, I will stop my lecture here, and if you have any query or question, then please let me know.
Sir, is there any
Yes,
specific,
if any
software or tool you're
participants
going to
has
explain?
any query,
Sir, you're going to explain some specific software or tool?
yes, if you can allow, then I will briefly discuss how we can perform the molecular docking using freely available tool Autodock.
Okay, I guess if you can finish it in 15 minutes, then we can go ahead with that also.
Okay. So, okay, thank you, ma'am.
I'll just ask the participants.
Okay,
I'm unmuting all of you. You can just keep
Okay.
on asking the questions wherever you feel like during the hands-on session.
okay.
Okay, so you can continue.
So should I proceed, or
Yes,
if
yes,
you
you
have
can
any
proceed.
query, please
We
let
are
me know.
having the session needs to be ended around 4 o'clock. So I guess we have sufficient time. You can proceed.
Okay. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Welcome, sir.
Okay. For example, I'm going to give an example like if we want to identify a beta secretase inhibitor for the treatment of Alzheimer's disease, then you can search for the beta secretase from here. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So for example, I have searched the protein data bank with beta secretase 1. So here the first result obtained, and that has a crystal structure of beta secretase, which is complex with an inhibitor. Whether it is inhibitor or whether it is activator, you can once, just a second. So here, when we click on that this structure, you can get a PDB ID of your protein, and this structure has been determined by using X-ray diffraction method. It has a resolution of 2.7 angstrom, and this structure is belongs to the Homo sapiens. So we can download this structure by clicking here PDB format, and you can download the structure. Why I am giving the preference to the structure that is complex with the some inhibitor? Like if you will download the structure that is complex with any inhibitor, then your work will be reduced tremendously, because in the UCSF Chimera, you can visualize this structure, and this is the molecule which is bound in the beta secretase 1, and here we can know that the structure has only one chain. So if there will be more chain, you can select the chain and you can delete it. So actually we are selecting chain A for our docking study. We can also check the residue or heteroatoms which is associated with this structure like IOD, HOH, DMS, at AP. So what is this residue? You can get an idea of these all residue by the PDB database. And here the small molecule which is associated with the structure is DMS, means dimethyl disulfide. The IOD is iodide ion, and at AP correspond to the inhibitor molecule. So for the optimization of the structure, we have to select each and every residue, and we have to first read that whether this molecule is needed or have any direct role for the protein functioning or their catalytic residue interaction. So if the heteroatom that does not play any role for the binding of in the active site, then we have to delete that heteroatom. So you can delete it. For example, we have selected the crystallized form of water molecule. We should delete it. And now DMS, this one, this DMS has nothing to do with their binding or active site. So we can also delete this heteroatom. Now, another residue is at AP, means this at AP is inhibitor that bonded in their catalytic site or active site. So for the molecular docking, we should remove this molecule. If you will not remove this molecule, then the active site pocket will not be empty and your molecule face hindrance during the binding. So we have to remove this molecule also. So now we have deleted all the molecule which is not necessary for the protein functioning. Now we have to do, we will go to the tools, and in the structure editing section, you can find the minimize structure. So here some default parameter has been set. So you can minimize the structure using the default parameter. So here step is descent, step is 100 times, and conjugate gradient step 10 times, and it will take more than 10 to 30 minutes depending on your configuration of the computer. So I am not going to do the energy minimization just now because due to the limitation of the time, but you can perform the energy minimization of the protein using Chimera in a single click. So after that, after the optimization of and the energy minimization, you can save this molecule PDB file with whether you want to locate this file. So you have to just write this file with a name like beta secretase or ABC something, and you just save this molecule. So after saving the molecule, you have to create a file, a folder in your C drive. So in the molecular docking, if you are doing molecular docking using Autodock, so you have to create a file in C drive. So in the C drive, you will go to the user, then admin, then in the admin folder, you have to design, you have to create a folder, and here keep in mind that you do not, your folder name do not consist 2 words. It should be a single word. For example, Autodock or your docking study. So you can just put the docking or something. So just create a folder with a single name. Otherwise, your docking will be not happen and it will show some errors. So if I have already created some docking file as a docking file with name Autodock, and here we will perform all the action for the related to the docking. So now I am going to delete all the file, and I have downloaded this file, and we have performed the energy minimization of this protein. So now we have to save this file PDB with the name of beta secretase or with the name of what you want. So just I have typed ABC and I have saved the optimized file of PDB. So if this file goes to the desktop, so now I have to copy this file and we just put this file in the folder. So we have saved the macromolecular file, means target file in our folder. So we have one file now. Now we want to perform a screen molecular docking with a small molecule, and that small molecule can be curcumin. So we have to save this molecule as structure data file. So we have downloaded the structured file, and you just put this molecule into your parent directory, means Autodock, in the C drive. So we have this molecule belongs to curcumin. Now curcumin.sdf file we have downloaded. We have downloaded the protein file. Now we have two types of file in our folder. One is protein and one is ligand. So the SDF file can be converted into the PDB file, can be converted into the PDBQT file. So when you are working with the Autodock tool, this tool accepts file with the extension name .pdbqt. So you have to convert .pdb to the .pdbqt and .sdf to .pdbqt. So for that, we can use various type of tools and server. For example, I am using Marvin Sketch for for example, we are using Marvin Sketch for our structure. For example, the curcumin is exported into the Marvin Sketch. Now you have to export. You just go to the file and save this molecule with the name of curcumin.pdb. .pdb. So it is just saved in the PDB format. So you can check here. This is saved file and this is the structure of the curcumin. Now curcumin 3-dimensional structure is now available for the docking. Now I will cut this molecule and paste into our directory. Now we have 3 files, 2 of our ligand, 1 of our protein. Now we will perform the molecular docking study. We have also installed the Autodock tool. Now you will go to the ligand and just in the input section, you have to open your file. Our ligand is curcumin. So we have imported the curcumin and again we can go to the ligand and you can save this molecule as .pdbqt. So now we have another file with name, another extension curcumin.pdbqt. So .pdbqt. Okay. So we have .pdbqt of our ligand file. Now we have to generate the grid file. For the generation of the grid generation is necessary. That will give you that will give a command idea to the Autodock that the docking study will be facilitated within that grid coordinates. So for the grid generation, you have to import the structure of macromolecule. You have to open the structure, and we have downloaded our structure and saved in the PDB file. So our structure is now imported in the Autodock window. Now we have to save this molecule, macromolecule, with the .pdbqt file name. So now we have converted .pdbqt to the .pdb to .pdbqt, and now we have two types of .pdbqt file, one for the ligand and one for the protein. In the next step, we will import our macromolecule for the grid generation. You can correlate this structure with this one, chimera. Here is the binding pocket of the small molecule. So we just open this structure and it can be shown as a ribbon model. You just on the ribbon model, and here we can perform the docking study. So, yes. Any query?
Any query? I guess someone had got unmuted. Sorry, you can take 5 more minutes.
Yes. In the 5 or to 10 minutes, I will complete it. Okay.
Yes.
So now we have this file. Now we will generate a grid box, and a grid box should be generated, and you can also move this grid box with this grid center parameter. You can set as per your study. But keep in mind that when you will increase the XYZ number of points, then it will also increase the total grid points per map. So when you will increase the grid point number, your docking study will take more time. So now if you want to go with this grid box, then you have to save this one as close saving current, and you have just saved your grid box, and you can import your GPF file, means grid parameter file, with the name of curcumin.gpf grid parameter file. We have obtained a grid file. Now for the docking study, we can also set molecule as a rigid, or you can also open the molecule like curcumin, and after that the Autodock will provide you some genetic algorithm, simulated annealing, and local search parameter for the docking study. So you will go for the genetic algorithm. Here this point matters, like if you want that your molecule bind with the active site or catalytic site with 10 conformations, then you will put here 10. If you want 50 conformations should be generated in the active site, means your small molecule will bind on the active site with 50 types of conformation, then you should increase the number of runs. So when you will increase the number of runs, it will also take time. So you just accept it, and the docking parameter, default parameter should be accepted. And in the output, you can save the Lamarckian genetic algorithm and curcumin dot dpf, means docking parameter file you have saved. Now in your folder, there is dpf and gpf has been generated. Now you can convert the gpf to the glg and dpf to DLG using syzbin command. So syzbin will help you to run the docking, and the ultimate our goal to produce a file with the extension .dlg, means docking log file. So we have previously we have done the study and we have some DLG file, and you can see here that after docking we obtain a DLG file, and that DLG file give you a result that how many type of conformation is generated and what will be our cluster and what it is based on the lowest binding energy conformation. So you will obtain a binding energy, as well as you will obtain the inhibition constant Ki value from the DLG, and you can interpret your result using AutoDock after formation of DLG file. So I am going to delete all the molecule and the docking. You just go click on the analyze, you just export the docking result from here, and I'm going to export the result like DLG. So here is 10 docking conformation we found, and you just import the macromolecule which is docked. So here aldose reductase is docked. So here you can play the conformation by the rank of energy. So you can build the molecule and you can visualize how many hydrogen bonding is formed with the catalytic residue. So here histidine on the position of 110 formed a hydrogen bond with your molecule, and you can obtain the binding energy, ligand efficiency, and various parameter with this AutoDock. And for the 2D file generation, you can install the ligplot. So ligplot, for the running of ligplot, you have to install the Java. You can open the PDB file for the ligplot generation. Here we have saved some docking conformation, and now we want to analyze the 2D interaction. Then we have to run the docking conformation, and you can get the idea that your molecule, this is your molecule, your drug molecule, which is interacted with the hydrogen bonding, and these all semilunar structure residue belongs to the hydrophobic contact. So these all molecule establish hydrophobic contact with your drug molecule. So now I think this is enough for the today's session, and
Okay, so anyone wants to ask any
Okay.
question?
So
You can
thank
just
you,
take up the
everyone.
questions very fast.
If you have any query and further question, then you can.
Sir, I have one query.
Yes, sir. Yes.
How we can predict the conformation of rigid structure? Because many times structure are flexible, but how rigid structure can bind to the ligand?
Sir, the structure of protein, you want to keep.
Many protein structure are rigid in nature. They cannot flexible for the docking. Then how we can perform that time?
Sir, actually, in my various docking study, we have keep protein structure as a rigid,
Mhm.
and we have obtained a good uh, um, uh, result, and the small molecule can interact with the catalytic site residue as well as active site residue of the protein. So I didn't face any difficulty when you are keeping the rigid file, protein as a rigid file.
Another related question to this: how we can predict the ligand conformation as well as its position and orientation within these sites?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can analyze your docking conformation. For example, just I am just sharing my screen again, and for example, you want to write your docking there will be several docking conformation based on your GA run. If you have provided 30, then the 30 conformation will be there. And
Yes.
if you want to write any conformations, then you just click on build current and write complex, and you will be able to write your complex, a particular complex,
Okay.
with the extension of PDB file name. And when you write your PDB, then after that you can visualize 2D interaction of that complex molecule using link plot. So and another 2D interaction plot is also available. Any other query, sir?
Yeah. No.
Anyone else wants to ask anything?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Sir, one question I would like to know about Ki value. Like it is
Yes,
an
sir.
inhibition constant, and is there any fixed range for the Ki value? Like it must fall in some particular range?
Sir, actually, Ki value is related with your docking score, means binding energy. If your binding energy will be more lower, then your Ki value will be more lower.
But sir, that is my question. Is in some case, in my case, like I have some protein interactions. So the
Yes,
binding
sir.
energy was good, but the Ki score was high.
Binding energy is lower, but
Yes,
Ki
sir.
value is high.
Yes.
Sir. Sir, actually, I have not done any protein docking, so that's why I am unable to answer your question. Why that things is happen is due to some related to the RMSD value or the orientation of the compound, or due to the heavy large micromolecular file. It can be due to that.
When binding energy is lower, the affinity of the ligand and protein interaction may be that not up to the mark. So it will not directly dock to the particular position
Yes,
because
sir.
they don't have affinity of that particular ligand with that particular amino acids or active sites.
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay. That might be the
Yes,
reason.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, actually, once we zero in on a inhibitor, a potential candidate, how much success rate is there when we try it in wet lab? It would succeed. What would be an accuracy level of this method?
Sir, it's depend, sir, because when during molecular docking study, we have selected Homo sapiens origin of protein molecule for the docking, and if you are testing your molecule efficacy in rat model, then it will not work, sir. So when you are going to perform the molecular docking study, you should select exact the rat originated PDB molecule, protein molecule, that certainly will work. Because in the most cases, some inhibitor is predicted good in the Homo sapiens, but it cannot be inhibitor for the mus musculus gene or protein.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I really thank all the participants for
Any other question?
participating. I guess we have done with the questions, and we can just end the session now. And I will be sharing your contact details, Gaurav sir, with all the participants, and they can have a talk with you for any kind of discussion on the topic you have gone with the discussion for the day. So I really thank you for coming and accepting our invitation for the day and deliver such a nice talk. It was really informative, and you talked about not only about the theory part of molecular docking, but you also try to give some information regarding the hands-on. So it is really appreciable that by the end you thought about all this thing. So we can just go ahead with many other sessions, maybe in future, regarding the same topic. And thank you again for joining this FTP.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving me opportunity to be and present my topic. Thank you all the participants. If you want to collaborate with me and you can ask any query, you can contact me directly.
I'll be
in the
sharing your
future.
details. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Surely, sir. I'll be sharing your details with everyone. So today we were actually basically discussing about computer-aided drug designing and molecular docking. So all the three sessions we were basically talking about molecular docking. For the sessions which we'll be having for tomorrow, we'll be having our three speakers. Dr. Sailesh Kumar, he's from NIPGR. He'll be talking something about next generation sequencing datasets. Dr. Nagendra Singh is there from GBU. He'll be talking on protein structure and applications. And Dr. Surjit Devnath, he'll be taking some hands-on simulation session on artificial intelligence and machine learning for engineered peptide therapeutics. So thank you all of you. I'll be ending the session now, and we'll just connect once again tomorrow at 10 a.m. And if you're not connected with the WhatsApp group, then please try to connect it through the link which I have shared on your email IDs. And I'll be sharing all the PowerPoints in the group itself. I have shared the PowerPoints for yesterday's session in the group. And soon I'll be sharing the link for the recorded sessions on YouTube. I hope you all have marked your attendance. If not, then kindly do so before 5 p.m. Thank you, all of you. I'll be ending the session. Thank you.